They say wars are no longer fought with numbers, but with knowledge, precision, and timing. Imagine an airspace where 10 fighters from the past stand ready, confident in their power, unaware that one modern jet, sleek and silent, has already locked them in its digital crosshairs. The F-16, born decades ago but reborn through innovation, has become a lesson in how modern air power outsmarts outdated air forces, not by size, but by strategy. Picture this. Two squadrons meet in the sky, one filled with legacy aircraft, heavy, powerful, but slow to adapt. The other led by the modernized F-16, lighter, sharper, infused with data and AI. The older jets rely on pilot instinct alone, but the F-16 pilot sees far beyond, not through eyes, but through sensors, radar networks, and battlefield data streaming into the cockpit like electricity. The old school sees a radar blip. The F-16 sees a living map of threats, movements, wind, and possibilities. It's not just about speed anymore. It's about how fast you think, how fast you react, how smart your machine can be before the enemy even knows what's happening. The F-16 pilot isn't fighting alone. He's part of a digital web, satellites above, AWACS in the distance, ground systems feeding every heartbeat of the sky. One flick of a switch and the jet becomes a ghost, slipping off radar, striking from a direction no one predicted. Older air forces rely on formation flying, discipline, coordination, manual tactics. But the modern fighter doesn't wait for orders, it predicts them. Algorithms calculate threat vectors in milliseconds. A missile lock used to be a miracle. Now it's almost guaranteed. The moment an old MiG or Mirage turns its radar on, the F-16 already knows its frequency, range, and weakness. The fight is over before it begins. In today's battle space, knowledge is the real weapon. The F-16 Playbook isn't about brute power. It's about deception, timing, and precision. Imagine a game of chess played at the speed of sound. The older Air Force moves piece by piece. The F-16 pilot moves the entire board. He doesn't react, he anticipates. He doesn't dodge, he disappears. The modern F-16 is no longer the same jet that first flew in the 1970s. Today, it's upgraded with AESA radar, helmet-mounted displays, AI-assisted targeting, and data fusion that links every fighter into a single living organism. When one F-16 locks a target, every jet in the network sees it. When one missile is launched, 10 others are ready before the explosion fades. The enemy sees one jet, but they're fighting an invisible swarm of intelligence. The psychology of combat has changed. In older wars, courage and maneuvering ruled. Now, it's about who sees first, who decides faster, and who vanishes sooner. The F-16 teaches its pilots not just to fly, but to think like machines, fast, predictive, ruthless. They train in simulators where 1 second can decide victory. Every heartbeat counts, every radar ping analyzed, every microsecond calculated. The old air forces are trapped by their past, slow communication, analog systems, and human delays. By the time a command center gives an order, the modern fighter has already completed 3 maneuvers and changed its altitude twice. It's like playing a video game where one player moves in real time and the other is stuck on a 1-second delay. That delay is fatal. And here's the genius. The F-16 doesn't just fly, it adapts. In every battle simulation, it learns. Machine learning systems feed data from past encounters, adjusting radar frequencies, countermeasures, and even how pilots move their hands. The jet itself evolves faster than its enemies can upgrade their doctrines. It's like evolution, but accelerated by technology. When older air forces try to overwhelm with numbers, the modern fighter turns the sky into a maze. One moment it's there, the next it's gone, striking from below, above, and behind, using terrain, clouds, and radar shadows. The enemy chases a phantom while the real threat closes in from the blind spot. It's psychological warfare at Mach speed. Pilots describe it as a feeling, not flying a jet, but wearing it. The helmet display merges with their eyes. Every gesture becomes instinctive. You look at a target and the jet already knows. You think of a turn and it executes. The connection between human and machine has never been tighter. That's the essence of the F-16 Playbook. Merge man and machine until they think as one. Older air forces still rely on command hierarchies. Orders passed down, decisions delayed. But modern pilots have autonomy, powered by trust in systems. Their decisions come from real-time intelligence, not old reports. It's like comparing a live stream to a delayed broadcast. The first wins every time. Then comes the art of deception. The F-16's radar signature can mimic, vanish, or distort. A legacy fighter may see a dozen false echoes, chasing ghosts while the real jet slips into strike range. Electronic warfare pods scramble signals, turn sensors blind, and flip radar frequencies mid-flight. For an outdated Air Force, it's chaos. For the F-16, it's music. The battlefield isn't just physical anymore, it's digital. Air combat is fought in the electromagnetic spectrum. The one who controls frequencies, data, and timing controls the sky. The F-16's real weapon isn't its missile. It's the information that missile carries, adaptive, guided, precise. Imagine two pilots facing each other miles apart, neither able to see the other, both relying on technology. The older jet locks radar manually, adjusting dials and angles. The F-16 pilot blinks twice, and the system calculates trajectory, weather, target range, and impact in under a second. Before the older jet even knows it's detected, it's already targeted. This is the age where air dominance isn't won by the biggest fleet, but the smartest one. The F-16, though decades old in design, has outlasted and outperformed new arrivals because it evolved faster. It became a symbol, proof that innovation beats intimidation. Every major air force that underestimated it learned the same lesson. You can't fight the future with the past. The F-16 is a paradox, small but powerful, simple but sophisticated, old yet futuristic. It thrives on the edge where human instinct meets artificial intelligence. In modern warfare, invisibility isn't about cloaking. It's about confusion. Make the enemy doubt what they see. Make them chase signals that lead to nowhere. The F-16's radar systems jam, spoof, and twist enemy sensors until even experienced pilots lose awareness. It's like fighting in a fog of your own making, and that's exactly how modern fighters dominate. The playbook is built on three principles: perception, prediction, and precision. Perception, see everything. Prediction, act before they think. Precision, strike once, perfectly. Missiles may change, tactics may evolve, but these three never fail. A single modern fighter now carries the computing power of entire air command centers from the 1980s. That means every pilot is a strategist, every mission a chess match. They don't just pull triggers, they calculate probabilities, read data, and shape the outcome. The F-16 doesn't just survive, it controls the tempo of war. The future belongs to those who combine human creativity with machine logic. The F-16 is the bridge between eras, not the end of manned flight, but the proof that man and machine together are unstoppable. Old air forces still see combat as a duel. The new generation sees it as a dance, swift, intelligent, and precise. Every time an older aircraft rises to challenge a modern one, it faces not just a pilot, but an ecosystem: satellites, ground control, electronic warfare, digital links, and predictive systems all connected. It's not one jet versus another. It's a system versus a relic. And that's why the outcome is decided before the fight even begins.
When modern jets take off today,
The sky becomes a living battlefield of algorithms. Every move, every signal, every heat signature is being tracked, analyzed, predicted. The F-16 pilot doesn't just fly, he commands a floating command center. Around him, every beep and flicker tells a story. To the untrained eye, it's chaos. To him, it's clarity. Older air forces used to think that bravery could outmatch technology. But bravery can't jam a radar. Courage can't predict missile paths. Instinct can't calculate infrared interference. The new pilot isn't less brave, he's more prepared. He doesn't rely on luck, he relies on knowledge and timing, backed by a machine that never blinks. In the past, dogfights were decided by eyesight and reflexes. Now they're decided by who knows more. The F-16 doesn't need to get close. It dominates from beyond visual range. It senses threats before they're even real targets. It can calculate kill zones and strike windows while the older jet is still turning its radar on. That's the future. Speed of thought over speed of sound. Every battle now begins long before the first missile launch. The F-16's onboard systems talk to satellites and early warning stations, mapping threats miles away. While old air forces scramble to react, the F-16 already knows their positions, tactics, and weaknesses. By the time the fight begins, the plan is already executed. The jet is like a living organism. It feeds on data. It adapts in seconds. Its radar locks, shifts frequencies, and counters jamming automatically. Its pilot just feels, reacts, becomes part of the flow. And that's why older systems can't keep up. They depend on human commands, while modern fighters depend on instinct powered by artificial intelligence. You can see it in their maneuvers. Old planes turn hard, burn fuel, and lose energy. The F-16 glides. It dances through the air. It uses aerodynamics and predictive AI to anticipate where it will be 3 seconds later, making interception almost impossible. It's not just a machine of war, it's a machine of timing. When analysts call the F-16 the fighter that outlived its time, they forget one thing. It keeps evolving. The Block 70 variant now carries radar that can track dozens of targets, digital flight controls that can correct micromovements, and helmet displays that turn pilots into hunters with 360-degree vision. In modern terms, it's not a 1970s jet, it's a 2020s supercomputer wearing wings. And the real secret isn't just technology, it's integration. The F-16 Playbook means never flying alone. Whether it's a stealth bomber in the distance or a drone swarm ahead, the F-16 sits at the center of coordination. It leads, adapts, supports, and strikes in perfect sync. Old air forces fly in formations. Modern fly as networks. Imagine a formation of F-16 spreading across the sky, linked digitally, each covering the other, each sharing data in milliseconds. One sees, all see. One engages, all adjust. It's not an air squadron, it's a neural network in flight. That's why the concept of dogfighting is fading. You can't dogfight what you can't see. You can't outrun what already knows where you'll turn next. The evolution of air combat mirrors the evolution of intelligence. The older era focused on hardware, the biggest jet, the fastest missile, the thickest armor. But modern warfare is about information. The F-16 doesn't just carry weapons, it carries awareness. And that awareness makes all the difference. Older air forces are now facing a problem they can't solve with numbers. You can buy more jets, but you can't buy experience in digital warfare. You can build stronger engines, but not smarter sensors overnight. The future belongs to those who train their pilots to think in code, not just coordinates. The F-16 Playbook is teaching the world that dominance isn't about size, but synchronization. Pilots are learning to fly with AI co-pilots, where systems suggest optimal maneuvers in real time. It's no longer about commanding a machine, it's about collaborating with it. The cockpit becomes a shared brain, where man and machine complete each other. In one recent training simulation, an AI-assisted F-16 pilot outmaneuvered multiple legacy jets in under 5 minutes.
Every decision, from altitude to missile range, was predicted before the human opponent even made the move. That's what technology does. It changes the very rules of the game. And still, behind every modern jet, there's a human heartbeat. The pilot remains the soul. Technology gives him wings, but instinct gives him purpose. The F-16 Playbook doesn't erase humanity. It amplifies it. It takes human creativity and feeds it through the fastest systems ever built. The air forces that adapt first will lead the future. Those that cling to the past will vanish in the fog of outdated doctrine. The difference between survival and defeat now fits in a single cockpit display. Between a pilot looking at analog dials and one looking through augmented reality at the entire battle space. Every upgrade, every radar tweak, every software patch changes how wars are fought. The F-16 has become the blueprint because it proved that flexibility beats perfection. It's not about building the perfect jet once, it's about upgrading the right one forever. Watch the modern flight deck in motion. Lights, data, holographic overlays, and in the middle, one pilot, calm, scanning, thinking ahead. His enemies may have more numbers, more missiles, but they lack one thing: connected intelligence. The playbook is simple. See first, think faster, act once. The evolution doesn't stop here. Tomorrow's jets will go beyond the F-16. They'll think on their own, link directly to drones, adjust mid-flight, maybe even fight without pilots. But the playbook, the mindset will remain the same. Outsmart, outpace, outlast. Modern air dominance isn't about destruction, it's about control. Control of the sky, control of information, control of perception. The F-16 stands as proof that when technology and intelligence unite, even a single fighter can rule the clouds. The message is clear: adapt or disappear. The sky no longer belongs to the loudest engines, it belongs to the smartest minds. The playbook has been written in digital ink, and those who fail to read it will always be one step behind. In training simulators across the world, young pilots study these tactics. They learn to merge instinct with AI feedback, to move like data flows, to make their jets dance between radar beams. Each generation gets faster, sharper, more aware. That's how dominance is built, not in factories, but in minds. You can almost feel it when the jet takes off. The hum of engines blending with electric systems, the canopy reflecting sunlight, the horizon stretching open. Somewhere up there, another jet waits, older, slower, confident in old tactics. But confidence fades when faced with precision. The F-16 moves unseen, unheard, unstoppable. The fight ends before the enemy realizes it began. That's how the modern fighter outsmarts the past, not with brute strength, but with brilliance. Every code, every signal, every adjustment is a message to the world. Intelligence wins wars, not size. And the F-16, the timeless warrior of the skies, remains the perfect messenger. The playbook isn't about one jet, it's about evolution itself. The idea that the smartest survive, and those who learn fastest lead forever. The old rules of air combat are gone. The new ones are being written right now, line by line, in every radar ping, every algorithm, every pilot's heartbeat echoing through the clouds.